Media 98.9.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It's hump day.
It is.
It's Wednesday, February 9th,
Already.
2022. And we're here in Win FM studios. Looking forward to I think we have a great show this morning, actually.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We have some stuff to get through.
Jade?
Yes. What did I do?
You did a lot of things, but we won't discuss that here. But
Wow.
How are you doing? How are you?
Boy, listen, if the police want up here for me, yeah? I'll be mad at you, man.
Yeah, that's a good enough reason to be mad at me. Yeah. Why didn't they say an offline? Oh, you just hear me fresh it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. But yeah, how are you doing, Jade, on this wonderful hump day?
I am fine, sir. How are you?
I art well.
You look well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do you. You look very golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life. For those of you who are listening to us on the radio, you really are missing out on something special. Jade, but how would you describe your...
My hair color?
Yeah.
This is what you call dyeing your hair by yourself in your house at 3 p.m. Well, not dyeing, bleaching.
Oh.
I almost died twice.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
It's intense.
Very much so. You ever inhale bleach? I mean, hair bleach?
Oh. No, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could see that. It doesn't sound pleasant.
It is not.
It doesn't sound pleasant.
But however, the preparations for the birthday has begun. And one step was bleaching my hair gold.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure the people on the live are going to be enjoying it. As a matter of fact, speaking of people on the live, friend of the show, Molly Media.
Yes, big up Molly one time.
Big up Molly one time. To be honest, that is why I brought him up, because I was hanging out with him last night and he sent messages. He said, "Tell Jade I said good morning."
Oh,
to tell you that you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Molly.
And also, he made a statement that...
you cannot repeat on the radio?
No. The statement was, there needs to be more women like Jade. He didn't go into detail. But my mission has been accomplished. I was given a task. Task completed.
I know what he means.
Jade...
Don't worry, I'll find out.
Yeah, link him up.
Yeah, I'll just ask him.
But it was said in good faith.
I assume so. It was
said in good faith. But yeah, your hair is gold, my hair is covered.
And you have to sing for us. It's tea time, Azam. It's tea time.
Already?
Yes.
It's tea time.
Thank you. Appreciate the vocals.
Yeah.
We have a lot to get through today, man. So
Yeah. Got you.
Let's try to jump straight into it, because boy, one of them was extra funny and it shouldn't be.
Like, to be honest, right? I tried to look at it just
I know your phone ain't working, so I'm gonna just all of these gonna be surprises for you.
Yeah, I'm just as surprised as the listeners this morning.
Yes, indeed. So let's start with the COVID report. You know, the usual. And in the last 24 hours, we had 4 confirmed cases, but we had 20 recovered.
Oh, so the active gone on, man.
Yeah, man. So we now stand at 175 active. Things we like to see here.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Things we like to see.
Speedy recovery to those of you who still dealing with COVID. And those of you who ain't get it yet, you know, man, we got another way for you. Don't feel no way. Don't feel left out.
Don't feel left out at all.
Don't feel left out.
Your turn gonna come.
We got another wave on the horizon, man. Don't study that.
As him say, your turn gonna come. Boy, listen.
Me want to feel left out. Like everybody getting a little COVID, everybody getting the little week off and thing, and they ain't getting none.
Just bothering me. Sticking up. Okay, there we go. You was sticking.
Yeah.
Like alfalfa.
Oh man, alfalfa. Anyway.
I love that movie.
You was such a lovebird.
So, as do you want?
Romantic.
I know, for so young. Yeah.
They exist.
Some of y'all may need to go watch The Little Rascals.
No.
No? He-Man's Haters Club? He-Man's Woman Haters Club, sorry?
You could imagine alfalfa when he gets to like 25, it'll be a problem. He'll be like those men who you describe who just does, yeah. Think about it.
Alfalfa would be an incel.
Wow.
He will be an incel, as I feel like he would grow up to be an incel.
Wow.
Which is terrible, but you know, they exist. So you want to talk about Social Security, because I heard a rumor that...
Are you supposed to be in charge?
No.
I was hoping that was the rumor.
Maybe you could help them, because things are getting a little rough. Or you want to talk about a hiker that was rescued.
Let's talk social, man. We're on the local.
No, they sent me here, man.
White people. Hey, this is the thing. People get upset when you say white people, right? But
as I said, we want to go local. He ain't even know.
A hiker that was rescued.
Yes, let me go to that one.
I said I want to go local. You tell me about hiker that was rescued.
You think they don't be rescued from here?
No, me say it ain't happen here. I said I want to go local, but let me go.
Hiker.
Talk about the hiker. Let me hear the name.
First thing first. This
Jeremy. I bet you his name Jeremy.
Whoever wrote this article is petty. Which one of our?
They ain't put a name in it.
No.
I know.
But they're petty.
Yeah.
Because they say another hiker rescued. They had to put another foot in.
Yeah, we have the annual hiker rescue. Come on.
I mean, you know.
Annual hiker rescue.
Had to meet the quota. So another hiker was rescued after getting lost on Mount Laramiega's trail. See, I'm getting up there. A press release issued on February 8th by the St. Kitts Department of Environment indicated that the hiker, Mr. Lee, you see, I was wrong.
Mr. Lee Jade.
Mr. Lee, you said Jeremy. He's
Jeremy Lee.
So you want to know what Mr. Lee did?
I don't know either, but continue.
He took off on the hike on Saturday, February 5th without a guide.
Okay.
So I talked to them.
Oh, that's fine. Got you.
A rescue team was assembled, comprised of a member of the Fire and Rescue Services, Defense Force officers, members of the Boy Scouts.
The man just went on a field trip. The man going, hey guys, it's the annual hiker rescue.
You know what's funny? I didn't know the Boy Scouts as rescue people.
Jade, it was a field trip.
This sounds like an adventure.
Jade, it was a field trip. They get a badge for rescuing hikers now.
Must be. Because I honestly did not know Boy Scouts go on these things. But yes, and 2 hiking guides. Boy, all these people had to go for this one, man.
I tell you, it was a field trip. You're just a lime. And I'll explain why afterwards, guys.
An employee of the Ramada Hotel also accompanied the team as a translator.
I tell you, I want to go local here. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
The search, which began around 12:10 a.m. February 6, was eventually suspended due to rain and foggy conditions.
So they went to rescue the man and rain fall. Hey, let me go home.
Tomorrow for that. Tomorrow for that.
He got foods up there, man. He
good.
He got foods up there.
Listen, at daybreak, the search resumed and the team found Mr. Lee in a deep ravine, some distance. Well, you keep laughing.
I'm going to explain afterwards.
Distance off the trail. They made their way down and out of the forest at Kittishan Hill, where EMS was awaiting their arrival. This is the 3rd incident of hikers getting lost while hiking Mount Laimiga without a guide.
Yep.
Authorities are again reminding hikers that they should make the trip with a trained and responsible guide. Notify the relevant authorities at the Department of Environment at 869-466-8535, and in case of an emergency, let the responsible person/persons know where you are going.
Okay, Boy Scouts.
Yes. The time frame of your activity and with whom. The Boy Scout most probably was happy for the little adventure. You stop there. They get to actually go on a rescue and not practice.
Anyway, Bruce, you needed to cool. You needed to cool, Bruce.
The man, I thought his name was Jeremy. How you get Bruce now?
He's Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee wasn't gonna get lost. I can guarantee you. Bruce Lee was not going to get lost.
They thought he was lost, then recognized the man was just on a spirit journey.
Oh, down in the ravine.
Down in the ravine. He probably shooting a movie or something.
I mean, you know.
But this is it, Jade. And this is actually sound advice for any of us who want to go exploring in the mountain.
When you say us, what do you mean? I mean that, you know? Any of y'all.
St. Kitts is a wonderful place.
Indeed.
Amazing greenery.
Oh, beautiful.
Lush forest. Right? And so some people may want to go and explore these forests.
Naturally.
Now, the idea of getting lost in the forest for me is okay, let me put it this way. I don't want to be dismissive. It means that you just don't have a proper understanding of the geography of St. Kitts. If Jade, somebody could literally drug me, wake me up, drop me somewhere in the mountain in St. Kitts, I'll be fine. You want me to tell you why?
You're a bushman.
Well, apart from me being a bushman.
Oh, sorry.
I'll be fine. Let me tell you why, Jade. St. Kitts literally is just one set of mountain ranges in the middle. And cities are surrounding the mountain range. If you keep heading down, you'll be alright. If you keep heading down, you'll be alright.
Eventually, you will touch gravel.
Watch here. All the rivers in St. Kitts reach back to the main road.
No, it's true. See, somebody said that's not true.
Well, if you get dropped on the peninsula, you could see everywhere you're going. So.
Somebody said you're lost.
This is the misconception with being lost, right, Jade? People like to say they know where to be. No, you know where you are. You just don't know where anything else is. Jade, I'm gonna tell you. I'm speaking from I'm speaking from experience.
You've
Jade.
been lost before?
Not only have Jade, I've gone into the mountains and not know where you're going. You just go.
Okay.
And when you figure out, wait there, we don't know. And again, people say we don't know where we be. No, you know where you be.
You just say no, everybody.
We don't know where everybody else be.
And that's, my friend, is the issue.
There's a couple strategies, right? Find water.
That's why he went down in the ravine.
You ain't got to go down in the ravine, you know. You just have to move in the general direction of the water.
You tell the man find water, he did.
Yeah, me and tell him go down. Me and tell him go swim.
Maybe the man was just, listen.
I mean, this all goes to the window if somebody gets injured, eh? But it doesn't. There was no report of injuries, and I believe if there was an injury, then they would have said.
Yeah.
Find water, and move in a general direction. Most of these waterways find their way back to the main road.
So you should too.
Yeah.
You should too.
Generally. Keep heading down. Yeah, reach the main road eventually.
I don't understand. Okay, so clearly this is somebody who is of foreign descent. Why would you go up in a foreign mountain to explore by yourself?
Yeah, this isn't anything that is strange. Like people go nature walking, exploring. It ain't nothing strange, right? It's nothing strange. But the truth is, nothing wrong with getting a guide.
Nothing at all. A matter of fact, it is the preferred way. They said it in the article. Please get a guide. Do not have all of these fire and rescue service, girls guide, Boy Scout.
They need to get their badges, Jay. They need to get their badges.
They
need to get their badges.
They deserve. Imagine, listen, if I was a Boy Scout, I would have been so happy, right?
I can't believe we still got Boy Scouts here.
We clearly do.
I was a Boy Scout, but
I was a brownie.
You're a brownie?
Yeah.
They have the girls guides and so still and the brownies, but the Boy Scouts, they get rid of that. They're big time in the US and so.
Why? I feel like I know why, but why?
There was a lot of scandals.
Yeah, I know.
I thought they just walk out. Hey, just trouble the whole group.
Yeah, man, done with it. When sexual abuse, is corruption, and all the children them want to do is get a little badge. Adults does ruin everything,
I just want to learn to build fire, Mr.
That's
Man.
all. I just want to know if I could light a fire from to stick. Adults ruin everything.
Yeah, you kind of mystic. I mean, you kind of mystic. Like, just like you try to go up in the mountain with a random
strange man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you say it that way.
When you're going in the woods.
With a random strange man.
Yeah.
Probably why they got rid of it. When they sat back and thought about it, they was like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
They trouble the whole group, they walk up and no buy.
Clearly nothing saying it.
The man said, what about the girls guys? And so the man said, them they alright. They just sell cookies.
Yeah, man. We don't really hear a lot of girls guide and Girl Scout scandals, brownie scandals, but the Boy Scouts?
Because the girls don't be going off in random places. Like you drop off your child and you pick them back up.
That's true.
The girls don't be going in the mountain for a weekend and so.
That's true.
Don't be going camping.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. But congratulations on these Boy Scouts who successfully, I'm assuming this is their first rescue?
Girl, you never know. Like,
this could be the CM3.
I'm telling you, this is like, they're like, oh, we got another one, field trip.
Field trip, boy.
That's what it is like now. That is what it's like now.
It's only 3, so it ain't too bad. But hopefully it don't get to... We don't have rogue people just going up into the mountains regularly.
It is a regular thing, Jade.
Wow.
At least more regular than it needs to be.
Y'all need to cut it out, man.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. Anyway, Social Security. Okay.
No, I feel you.
No, that's a big tune.
It is.
Social, that is a tongue twister.
Wow.
Social Security Fund could see reform and increase in contributions as early as 2023. Reserves in the Social Security Fund of the Federation are projected to be depleted in 2040 if the contribution rate is not increased and benefit reforms are not made, according to the St. Christopher Nevis Social Security Board's 13th actuarial review. I hope I pronounced that right. The report suggested that after the reserves have been exhausted, there would be two possible sources of income to meet benefit payments: higher contributions and special transfers from the government. The report also suggested that total expenditure is expected first to exceed total income between 2022 and 2027, and the fund is projected to be depleted between 2038 and 2043. Recommendations in the report suggest an increase in contributions to 13% by 2024. You're watching me like it's beside. And an increase in the pension age to 65 by 2024. Similar projections were made in the final draft of the 12th actuarial review published in March of 2019 before the pandemic hit. Since the pandemic, unemployment rose because of the halt of our economy's tourism, entertainment, and construction sectors. The Social Security Board supported the government's rollout of stimulus packages. The minister responsible for the statutory body, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, explained how in his address to mark the 44th anniversary of instituting, saying a major show of solidarity in 2020 was the initiation and rollout of the COVID-19 Relief Fund, where over 8,500 persons were provided with the COVID-19 grants to the tune of over 23 million. This is long.
They give you one way, they take it back another way back.
Oh, you better believe it.
I mean, Social Security help a lot of people.
They do.
Like just regularly, but we're talking about the pandemic. That kind of expenditure there, unexpectedly, they're definitely going for a damper on things.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and
this
which goes back to your point of yesterday. What is the
true cost of right? So when we're talking about this, and like I said, when these things happen, you don't see things going the opposite direction. Yeah. Now, my question is why we don't deal with Social Security like how we deal with certain public corporations.
For example?
So is it that the Social Security concept, although necessary, is flawed, where it seems like so many of the funds struggling, or is it that the funds themselves don't perform the way that some other funds perform, and then we have to examine what the reasons are. I'll tell you why. Because this is the thing, when you hear by social security money, the fund about to run out, you hear things like because population growing, the people that are pensionable, claims are going up as the population rises. So the population continues to rise, and so contributions can't keep up with the pace of the rising population. Mm-hmm. Claims, people, dealing with all kind of other sicknesses. We have global pandemics, all these things going on, right?
Yep.
But we don't ever hear about what has been the return on investments. I suspect you would hear it maybe if you go to if there's an AGM or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm very curious to know what the investments have looked like over the last even 25 years. You see what I'm saying? So when I said talk about to deal with it like a company, like we're all shareholders, we all pay into the fund. And so if you're telling me you're getting a 3% return on my money, I say, but okay, that can't even outpace inflation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I will have to know, because that's what I expect to happen. I expect to happen is that people are putting their money into the Social Security. They're stewards of the money. They should invest the money. Mm-hmm. They have a team of people, an investment branch, or they have the board of directors. All these people who invest the money, and we hope for returns that could also then be paid back out to the investors, if you want to put it that way. Now, of course, it's not like a mutual fund or something like that because of the role it plays, but it'd be interesting to see if they've been able to keep up with like even average returns of like some of the companies that do similar things.
I've honestly been hearing that this is going to happen for years.
Yeah. But it's not. And the thing is, this is a Senkits thing, you know.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's something with the structure of Social Security itself.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's necessary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we need to go back to the drawing board in terms of how they're structured, because this seems to be like. As a matter of fact, I think Senkits Social Security probably been doing better than some of the other regional funds. Yeah.
And well, I guess that's why they've probably. But I mean, I'm happy that they're actually looking at the restructure now and not waiting until like we're on the last leg, and we might be on the last leg.
If they're saying maybe next year and to 2027, we passed the last leg, Jade.
Yeah.
We passed the last leg.
So definitely, it seems like you're gonna have to go up, because there's no unless the government somehow does like this big.
But there's going to have to be government injection. But then of course there's going to be increasing contributions. So the thing for me, like I tell you, you lose it one way, you get it, you take it back another way.
Which is usually the structure of all things. Same way when they get the Christmas double, they get it, but then they lose it in bills and and unnecessary furniture that they just buy at Christmas time.
Well, they're a little different, because at least then you're making a choice what to do with the money. When you're just putting a yeah.
You're saying yeah. Nobody knows what you're saying yet, too, sir.
No, I was actually reading at the same time.
No, I know, that's what I was telling you.
No, but basically, I just think it's going to be necessary for us when we're talking about restructuring. Mm-hmm. To also, we have to set targets in terms of what it is that the fund is doing with the money, right? Nobody believes that the formula can be take money from the set of people and then pay it out to the set of people.
Yeah, that's not sustainable.
That's not sustainable. So that cannot be the thing. And we know that's not the case, because Social Security does have investments, whether it is real estate, whether it is, I don't know what else.
Real estate is good.
I know they do real estate. They've invested in certain housing developments and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Right? So we're gonna have to really set targets as well and hold the people who sit in the seats accountable. You're gonna have to be accountable if we're coming back and we're expecting between let's say they're expecting between 8 and 10% return on investment. Right? That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's supposed to be convincing, though?
No, but what I'm saying is, let's just call a number. Let's say between 8 and 10%, right? Then, as we continue moving forward, that must plug into some sort of formula that incorporates the expected increase in population, the expected increase in the claims over years, and then it just has to be something sustainable. Otherwise, we grandchildren gonna be paying 50% of the money to Social Security, because really and truly you ain't gonna choice it.
You don't have no choice.
That's the thing about it for me. The thing is, like, I can't decide. Hey, I am not really trusting Social Security, so I'm going to go and take that money that I put to Social Security and invest it in some other retirement fund. I don't have that choice.
That is not how it works.
So my thing is, if that's the case, then these people have to be held even more accountable, and the structure must be sustainable.
What do you think about the age being increased? I think it's 55 now. It's 55 now, right?
No,
it's 50?
62.
Oh.
62, Jade, yeah.
I thought it was 55.
Watch it, what people...
It's because my uncle tell me he retiring.
You know how much people would love to be retiring at 55?
Kind of young, eh? Kind of young.
People would love to be and I wish I wish that on everyone that desires it, to be retired at 55. But I mean,
62 to 65. That's really like a big leap.
A big leap, but and not only that, Jay. I think I'm having two thoughts on this. My thing is, like, I would love to see people retiring younger, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see people be able to enjoy.
Clearly, we can't afford it, but
Yeah, but that is the other issue. The issue is that there are a lot of people who hit 62 and they're really and truly not in a position to retire. They're not in a
Literally.
position. Okay, Jade, let's look at it. Like we could say we're in our 30s, right?
Were you in your I knocking on the door?
Right. So neither of us own like a dwelling home, right?
No.
So let's say we got like a 35-year mortgage. You realize when Social Security walk out, you're supposed to be retiring, but we ain't even pay the mortgage yet. And we don't. And this is what going on. You're like, people. That's why you don't get. That's why there's a kind of pushback on people. And I said it here before. That's why the pushback on people will be like, you all why don't retire? I say you don't know what the person dealing with you.
Yeah, you feel like it's a retirement, you know?
You ain't know what the person dealing with.
A lot of from the young days.
A lot of people working because they have to.
Yep, they literally have to. All the loans and mortgages they took out when they were younger.
Mortgage and student loan.
They still paying it. Listen,
you get a child. Watch you. God bless you, that child when you're 40. You realize you're paying that you're taking a student loan when you're 60. You're taking the student loan when you're 60.
Yep.
Think about that.
Yep.
And somebody can watch and tell you, I got 60, why don't go home?
Go home, go do what?
Go home, go do what?
I got bills to pay. They ain't gonna pay themselves.
Bye.
Trust me, I understand fully why. I understand fully. It's a harsh reality.
Yeah, but all these things.
See, and then you're lucky if you qualify for a 30-year mortgage if you're over 30.
Yo. Watching things. But okay, this is a pet peeve of mine, guys. This is a pet peeve of mine. I have friends in the US, right, who have been involved in real estate and so, right? And there are all these programs that they're able to, FHA and NASA and all these things, where they get in these like deals that allow them to get into the real estate market, purchase homes and whatever.
Sorry, we're going to take some calls in a few seconds. That's when Azim finishes his point.
But what I'm saying is we need some of these flexible programs that allow young people to get into ownership.
Yeah.
Like the banks, the traditional loans ain't making no sense. Interest rates them ridiculous. Payment period ridiculous. And then to qualify ridiculous.
Oh, listen.
Like
the amount of me and Jamie was having this conversation about real estate and mortgages and how you get in, like how it's so difficult for you to even get money to build a home, much less when you time to pay back the money for the home. It's just a very difficult cycle for young people to be in. And when people out there saying, oh, y'all young, get into this and get into that, they don't understand it's very difficult to even get the process going.
Jade, I have a friend, he just bought a home, right? Just bought a home. He got 1.5% interest, right? On the loan. I won't go into all the details in terms of the loan and how he got it, but how you qualify. This is what is important, and this is one of the things that upset me with our financial markets here, right? How he qualified for the money that he eventually got was they looked at two main things. They looked at one, how much money they pay for rent. Like, what is your rent right now? Right? And they also looked at how much money can you save in 3 months. Think about it, Jade. What is your rent? How much money can you save? One of the things that I hear people talking mortgage and insurances, stamp and teeth and renting and thing and the conversation would always go on and on forever, right? You have to understand these people who are paying rent, you're paying the person's mortgage.
Literally.
But you can't take that money and go get the mortgage.
Nope. So ridiculous that sounds?
You can't take that money and go...
I could rent and pay somebody else's mortgage, but when I go to the bank to try and get a mortgage, I say,
Like, so let me ask you. So I asked my friend, I said, but you had to put down something. He tell me, yeah, I had to put down something. And he said, yeah, I had to work and put money aside for the down payment. He said, yeah, I struggled for a couple months. But the thing is, I was able to save some money over the course. I think he tell me like it took him like 18 months because he knew what he wanted to get. He got his information. By saving that money for the down payment right there, and then he already have that money to take to them, that paperwork to take to them to say, hey, this is what I was able to save. This is how much I'm paying for rent. So really and truly, this should be a indicator of what type of payment I can make monthly towards a mortgage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't have these types of programs that like look at things realistically. It was even like me, like I remember because I'm self-employed, dealing with the bank will just be like
a headache.
Dealing with the bank will just be like.
I've heard. Trust me.
And I go to the bank and it's like they're looking at my financial records and it's like I'm not given the same consideration that somebody, who's employed has. As a matter of fact, I could be paying employees, right? And my employees could go to the bank and get better terms than me.
Yep. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's rough.
Trust me, that does not encourage people to want to do these things that they say the young people are supposed to do. It's very difficult for you to, because that's what you grew up traditionally hearing. You're supposed to get a good job, get a mortgage, start building, family, this and that. But if we really look at the time we're living in, the money that we're getting can't really add up to these things,
Jade, cost of living going up.
But not with paycheck?
Paycheck ain't going nowhere.
Paycheck is not moving.
Don't matter talk about inflation.
Somebody is saying, how are we doing so much more than our grandparents ever did with less to show? Because they're not paying us what we're worth.
But Jade, like you just said it, like the cost of living continues to rise.
But not the money.
The cost of living continues to rise.
Not the money we're getting as them, which is ridiculous.
So the price. So if you look at the price of the homes now, like such as what they cost to build a few years ago, ridiculous. Material. I mean, I said it here before in terms of how I would like to structure my whole thing real estate. I would like to rent, but I want to own. So I want to. But
it's very difficult to do both.
No, not really. I want to own to rent, and rent to live.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I would love to do. I would love to own to rent. So I have property that I rent, right? But because as a kind of man, where I'm at now, I might not be in 5-10 years. My family, kids, whatever. Or maybe just really like my neighbor, them and I want to move.
Yeah, that's a choice.
Yes, I would love to have that. I would love to have that flexibility. I would love to. But what can happen? What I would love to do is structure it in a way where the property I own is not only paying the mortgage for the property, but paying for my rental space over in this condo over Half Moon, however.
Sounds like a good plan.
Ideally. But guess what? Easier for you to go get $150,000 car loan than to go get a loan to pretty much do anything else.
Yep.
Why they so keen on giving car loans?
And business.
But no, they ain't keen on business loans, Jade.
No more? I thought they were saying that there was some business loan than a mortgage.
There was some programs that was running through Development Bank. I think Development Bank ain't got to come up with some flexible ways.
Yeah, because I understand. Well, y'all want people own land and housing in the places that they live. Well, y'all don't want us to live here.
What it is, Jade, they're going to have to be, the lending institutions are going to have to be willing to take more risk.
Yeah.
They're going to have to be willing to take more risk.
But I don't see that happening right now because the pandemic has pushed back. Whatever progress was made in terms of getting us there, it has now been pushed way back. I'm pretty sure. For some people, the pandemic fill their pocket more than ever too. Yeah, but we don't sell mass and swab tests. We don't sell rapid tests and we don't have no shares in the vaccinations.
No. What I'm saying is that maybe what needs to happen is we need to identify those areas that we are lacking in that have potential for growth over the next 5 to 10 years, and incentivize people to move into those directions.
That
You see what I'm
sounds
saying?
easy, right? That like sounds like it wouldn't make sense for an institution to do. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Like I feel like these should be things that we shouldn't even have to come on the radio and say. Like I feel like these is things that should be already in progress.
One of the problems that we have is a general misunderstanding of reality, right? When I say that is how banks function and and the basis. You go there, you put your money there to keep safe, because really and truly
You can't keep it on their bed.
you can't keep it on their bed because your thief and cousin will just come in and take it up and go by business and he know not what happened and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we look now,
The man flossing and you're just hungry.
Yep.
So that's not a good idea.
So you carry it to the bank and thing. The bank takes that money. The bank decide, watch you, for keep your money here, we give you a little something. And then they go and they lend that money back to other people and they invest it in other places to get more than they're paying you to keep it there. In a nutshell. That's an oversimplification, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. Watch you. Any good bank understands that the money needs to work. They have overhead costs. They have people to pay. They have lights bill. They have electricity. They have water.
Yeah.
Right.
All them things.
So the money must work. So when you walk into the bank, why is it that you always feel as though you gone in there go beg something, and they're the one hold it? No, they need you. If you stop walking, there's a problem.
Yep.
If people stop go to the bank there to take loan, is a problem.
Mm-hmm. If they stop saving the money, there is a problem.
You
if
got
stop
to
giving them your hard-earned money.
How the bank gonna work? How the bank gonna work? And I think part of it too is they sense desperation in the people that come in. And they take advantage of the desperation.
Well, we could tell because look at all the deals and the loans, especially in peak times when they know people really need extra income.
Jade, let me tell you something, right?
Well, we got carnival.
Jade, let me tell you something, right? I believe that there's some institutions that just give some loan. They well know this loan ain't coming back. They don't give to me and you. As a matter of fact, I'll go as much on them. I don't have any numbers, but I would say it's probably more likely that John Paul and Bruce Lee gotta take his time. He might miss a month here or there, but he can pay a little $50,000 loan over time. He can pay a little $60,000 loan over time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Than some of these big businesses that steady faulting and they loans them. And they come and they go and they get them back more money.
More.
We see what happening in Anguilla. Jay, that's what happening in Anguilla. They give out all these big loans to people. They know the money ain't coming back.
Well, remember, what was PPE?
They know the money is not coming back. But, yeah, man.
God,
Big project. Big project.
Yeah. Take more than you can pay back.
You understand? So, they're watching the small man and feel like,
it's a big risk, you know what I mean? Sure, if he going to come be able to pay the little $320 a month.
Yeah, well.
But a big man who does make 10 times the amount, ain't even paying you a cent.
Dude, some of the biggest defaulters on bills and loans and things, some of these big institutions.
Well, I know ain't us.
When you go and watch and say, well, how this person bill come up to 1.4 million? How they all this institution that there?
You know, if I or anybody want point anything, I will simply pass away. Because, come here,
Dude, we've seen it time and time again. They come out, boom, boom, boom. This person off 60,000. This person off 80,000. This person ain't paying their bill.
And then you get down to the real bills now. A business 2.5 billion, bruh.
Yeah, I think what really happening is just that we generally we talk about this all the time when we talk about education, but we really don't have financial education.
No.
We really don't. People, I even see people on the thing talking about how debt is like a struggle and thing because we don't know how to use it. Watching a lot of these big companies, big businesses and things. They know how much debt they got, but they use the debt as a tool. Mm-hmm. You understand? They use the debt as a tool, It ain't like you ain't got to fear that if you don't understand what you're doing with it,
Mm-hmm.
I learned something long time. I said, actually, ain't everything you got money for, you know. You just need the promise of money.
The promise of money.
Yeah.
Love it.
I see people go to the bank. Jade, if I tell you this, I have a colleague. He moved from England to a specific Caribbean island. Not saying it, so don't look around at no way people go see if it's them I'm talking about.
And then only
I met him on my travels.
Mm-hmm.
He moved from England. Things wasn't working out for him. He moved from England to this particular island with like 400 euro or something like that. He told me 400 and something euro after he bought his ticket. He had no plan. He just walked out. But the island looked good.
I could figure it out.
I can figure and just go down here, maybe live on a beach, be a bum.
Oh, you know, drink a little coconut water too.
He reached there. He ain't got nothing. He said by hitting up, laying on the beach for a couple of days. Ended up getting friendly with one of the bar owners, and he would just clean up around, and the bar owner would give him a little something and thing. One of the things he realized, the roads were horrible. So he said, "Boy, where the roads are horrible and thing." The man said, "Boy, they're gonna need to fix it. Election coming." The man said, "What?" The man had a brother who's a contractor. A contractor, you know, nothing, no civil engineering, no engineer, no nothing. He call a contractor, man, just build house. He said, "Boy, watch you. Who does fix roads and so? Like, what companies that fix roads?" The man gave him a list. The man went, email a bunch of them, like he from the government. Say he looking for a quote to fix the roads in the country. The people them flying, you know, Jade. The man said he had to borrow a suit to take the people around. He had to borrow a suit to take the people around. They come to do the assessment, they send back the thing. He went for the cheapest one, had on $1 million on it. I went to the government and presented.
Boy.
The man didn't become a millionaire.
Cool, sir.
I mean, of course, he had the complexion. For the
protection.
For the negotiation. He had the complexion for the negotiation.
That's crazy.
But he telling me, he said, I don't understand what are going on in these Caribbean countries with him because he only get because he white.
Yeah, oh boy.
He tell me direct, he said, but no local man could do that there.
Well, at least he knows. Self-awareness, important.
But the man telling me like, so in other words, he had the promise of money. I was able to leverage that with the government and thing and bam. You know understand? Like, people finding ways to do things, you know, but sometimes they watch you and walk out, you ain't supposed to do nothing.
Yep. Another one ain't work, friend. Just get up on that one.
Alright, put some car back here, because we're trying, but... But yeah.
Take up on that one.
I would love to take this call, but Carla, you're going to need to call back, hopefully again on another line. But yeah, but what I'm saying is, we don't have the financial tools to be able to navigate. And then what happens is, if you're able to find out, sometimes you're so far behind the gun. Like the difference in your returns between just in 10 years. So if you start investing in something at 21 versus the returns that you would get if you start investing at 31. It's millions of dollars when you talk about compound interest. This one not again.
Which one? No boy. You gotta hit them ones on the end.
Wow.
Yep. You just gotta hit those ones. As I told you to give up, it's not going to work.
I'm trying.
Call our local numbers, guys. Call 465-0989, 762-0989 and 662-0989 if you want to chat with us. Those are the lines that we have open currently.
Financial literacy, like it needs to be
taught in schools. It needs
watch
to be
it.
taught in schools.
Don't tell children how to like
write
a check.
Write in cursive and so.
In terms of money and dealing with the bank and so, half the time all they're telling you is, as a matter of fact, you know, and the things that does like blow my mind. You learn higher purchase in school. You learn higher purchase in school, but then you come out and you don't understand what is the premium on your loan. So,
tell her I don't call the line, you know. That one ain't good.
I want to get it callers in loud, man.
Yes, but I need to call the other lines.
They can't come in instead.
Well, they ain't gonna work, so.
Man. But yeah, so they teach you higher purchase and how to work out higher purchase.
But they didn't teach you how to.
But they teach you, and they teach you how to write a check.
Yeah,
Like
they
as
teach
if
you to give money to
like,
other people.
Like as if you can't go into, as if when you get the checkbook from the bank can't tell you write in the figure here
Yeah.
and sign here.
It's so ridiculous.
And
There's so many other things that we need to be teaching these kids from early. Check writing is not one of them.
We got a caller. Caller, good morning, 11 Island Tea. What's up?
Good morning, my island family. How are you? How are you, Jaden, Jean? Calling your name right, Rasta?
Morning.
Morning. Yes, I don't know how they get it do control hard cut, but it seems as though they will just born with that day. They say, the Rasta man, them saying, oh, we need, I must see this kind of food, because we will get strong in our brains and so, but I hear you talking about that, speaking about that, they could get though. Because I went to St. Thomas at a time, and then what I heard that this person could hire a house right for 900, and he take the house, they'll take the house and rent it out certain part of it, you know. And I look people so they went up at the rent. Not them, more. The radio say something, they just sit down and figure out things, and they really could get it though. They will come just as it's at the beach. They will come see you. You see the buy half a guy on the beach. You never hear about this one. And when a couple years ago, buy half this guy from up here, one call his name, arrest the guy. Buy him out. You go away and come buy out your business. I see how the guy moving good. But you never guy must say like the white powder. He sent him out over frigate. Me hear about that there Rasta because he up a good while. Buy him out and give him a vehicle, any vehicle, and then he got the man business. Yeah, the tricks for sure don't know the scientists bad in the head. They could really get it to work through. They just walk you up here. You could just come rent this house from me. Can you pay me the money and still get back something for yourself? Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people just get upset with like the rent and thing in the island and thing. But I mean, I don't necessarily get on the issue because yeah, the rent is high and it's difficult, but at the same time, the homeowners got
Mortgage.
not only mortgage, but then when this go wrong, you want the house paint over, they got expenses.
Yeah, they have expenses.
And part of the thing part of the trap that a lot of people fall into is they don't recognize the cost associated with home ownership. You know, rough it'll be when you just build your house and you look now pipe busting the wall.
You have to go to give that out. You have to take the house.
And I can tell you something. It come like as if almost every month something go wrong with the house. Electrical, you realize me, every time I turn on this light, the bulb blow. You gotta call your partner across the road, say, hey, watch here, come check something for me now.
Yeah, man, you know, we go.
Yeah, but I mean, don't bother talk about property tax. That's one of the things that very interesting to me is all of the things that we are guided towards, right? Mm-hmm. In America, they call it the American dream. Here, we just call it, going up and building a house on the hill or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But all the things that they tell you need to do, kind of rough,
Yeah.
Because all of the things they get paid. When I say they, I'm talking government. Mm-hmm. So what are the things they tell you need to know? You need to go to school. 90% of the loan them, if not more, coming from development bank. So okay, cool. They say you gotta go buy what? Buy development bank tents over there. So watch you. And that is one of the things, quick tangent on what I was saying. We need to teach people how to manage their loans. Pay your loan in two. If you got to pay $500 a month, pay $250 twice. You can thank me later.
Instead of having to struggle to find the full $500.
No, not even that, Jade. Not even that. Listen to your Uncle Royal. Right now, if you have a loan and you're paying X amount, split the payment in half, go to your bank, tell them you're going to pay it twice a month. Just thank me later. Thank me later. You catch a little lick, Go in the bank, pay down the money. Don't let them put it on their account. Pay it on the premium. You understand? They got to take off some of the money off. Watch here. Some I pay now student loan for 10 years. When I go in the bank, I want to know. You ask them how much you got. The man tell you some big figure you want to know going on. When you ask them what's going on. But now you've been paying the interest. Premium, they're watching your face. Anyway.
No, you're right.
So they tell you. So they tell you, yeah, go to school. But guess what? You got development bank, you're paying them. They tell you build a house, they get any property tax. All the things they tell you do, they get a cut out of it.
Of course. Duh.
Build up yourself, not build up with coffers.
Yeah, build us while building you. That should be the slogan, you know?
Build us while building you?
That's the most truthful slogan they would have. Build us while building you. Build us more than you build you, but you know, same thing.
Yeah, and
that's one thing I realized as I grew up, right? I used to be like, boy, I really wanted to feel bad I didn't go to school and all these things. And then I'm looking around at all the people that went to school and I'm like, y'all really seem like y'all happy about this decision, mainly. It all boils down to the student loan that I have to pay every month.
Yeah, like, let me tell you something, right? School is not a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh no, man, y'all
let me tell you something. I am not going to get any surgery from the body who learn to cut on YouTube.
That makes no sense.
You know where I'm coming from?
No.
There are some occupations
that
where
you have to.
School is necessary.
Listen.
And not only that, for those who may not be in one of these particular fields, right? I don't necessarily want people building the bridge from St. Kitts to Nevis that don't have no degree.
No. The school of YouTube ain't really cutting it.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even for people who are in some of these fields where it is but really and truly you could learn everything what you need online.
Should be bank above.
It's not that bank above self. Wow. Bye.
I just
Bye. The country guy. Bye. But what I'm saying is, some of these things, for instance, like me, all the people that taught me in school, they went to no school. All the people that mentor me now, they went to no school. So I didn't have to go to school to learn information. The point is, college, university does not have a monopoly on information.
It does not.
Right?
Does not for sure.
However, there's
have to go, man.
And not only that, even in some of these fields, like I was saying, nothing wrong with going to school. You just have to have a plan.
Yeah.
For instance, and you must know what you're going there for. You can't think you're going there because you want the paper. Like you could get information anywhere. What you but
you could go on Udemy and get the information for $29.95.
Indeed, and in the pandemic, they had some deals there.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
But what I'm saying is that the networking opportunities, if you go there. So for instance, what happened is some of them they go school and they sit down in the room all day and read the book. They don't explore the place where they live. So they're not even experiencing a new culture. They're not even developing themselves as a person. They're not becoming more social. They're not meeting new people from different backgrounds, none of that.
Nothing.
Because that's not what they're going to school for.
They're going for the paper.
Some of them, they go school, they don't recognize that the network that you build in school, that is in most cases way more valuable than even the paper that you walk out with. I don't think I've ever gotten a job, Jade. In my life, I've never gotten a job because of my CV. Never. Including when I went to teach. I never applied to teach. You see what I'm saying? Network. Your network can pull you through.
That is very true, and I could say that about me. Like a lot of the things and a lot of opportunities I've gotten is because of the network that I've created and the skill set that I've obtained. Sometimes through this network as well.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with school. I mean, I did do some courses, but you know, nothing wrong with a little course here and there.
You have to continue learning, guys.
Yep, that's one thing about
adults. You have to continue learning. You have to continue.
Education does not stop when you graduate. Okay.
I mean, I was there talking to somebody last night, and we were talking. No, someone else.
Oh, you had a lot of conversations last night. Like,
yeah. And you know, we were talking about. Ironically, we were talking about retirement. And one of the things that came up in the conversation was, and it came up because of Rihanna, and somebody was like, "Well, look at Rihanna. Rihanna worth 1 point whatever billion. At the point when you have a B behind whatever the number is, it don't even matter what the point is. You got
matter.
You got a billion and something.
Once a B behind whatever figure.
And she just now getting she first child.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us getting 4 and 5. 10 years her junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the point was made and said, look, we like a lot of people, their concept is I'm going to build and build and build and build so that I can support my offspring. Some people have a mindset that I'm going to get offspring to support me. I got to take care of me.
That's it. That's where children come forward.
And part of that is just a lack of information. Mm-hmm. Like when you have to put yourself in a position where your retirement plan is how much children you get, I think it speaks to the fact that maybe you just weren't given the information in how to really financially plan.
And it's not too late.
I don't think these people are bad people who believe that is a way to secure their retirement. But maybe they just won't given the tools to be able to maneuver financially.
Yep.
You understand? Oh, boy.
I don't know what this got to do with us, but okay. Anyway, it's time for a break. You've said a lot this morning, a lot of valuable information.
People are making me on the street and cuss me.
That's okay. I mean,
Normal.
Yeah. So we'll take a very quick break and we'll come right back with Health and Herbal Tea with our friend from Lake Health and Wellness, Miss Isoline. Stay tuned. 2 more Island Tea right down with Media SKN.
Here are your Horse's Value Mart IG Value Club Blue Tax Special.
Running January 27th to February 9.
Almond Breeze Milk, $8.99. Del Monte Fruit Cups, $12.99. Skippy Peanut Butter, $12.99. Riot Premium Ice Cream, $22.99 each. Pepperidge Farm Cakes, $14.99. Nestle 6-pack flavored water, just $6.99 each. And now our very low weekly
Value deals! Essential everyday pasta, $2.99. Boost drink, $7.99. Essential everyday fries, $10.99. Colgate toothpaste, $5.99. IGA Essential everyday pasta sauce, $7.99. Mueller's pasta, $5.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Joan, en español.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say sign sugar, low and fat. But don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back right here on Win Media SKN. And like we said before the break, we actually have a very special guest, friend of the show, Iceline, in from Lake Health and Wellness. For Jade, you were supposed to come in with the name of the show, Jade.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was... My bad. You didn't throw it properly. For Health and Herbal Tea?
Yes.
Yes. Good morning to everybody listening. Thank you all very much. It's good to be back. Happy New Year. This is, the first time I'm back for the year. So Happy New Year, even though the year is in February now. It's technically kind of old.
No, man. We're fresh still.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, we're fresh.
I don't know about you, but I don't like when old things. That kind of stale to me.
Sometimes people got things 5 and 6 and 25 years say better, so.
True, it's true. Wine, like wine. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you all very much. So again, to all of viewers and listeners, so my name is Iceline Phillip. I am the Advocacy and Research Officer at Lake Health and Wellbeing, and we are a public health NGO in St. Kitts and Nevis. And our work, and the work that we do, we essentially work to improve the health and well-being of our communities, locally, regionally, and online, and we do that in a variety of ways. So, we do research, we do advocacy, we do project implementation, and we also execute campaigns. And so people remember last year, 2021, we say every month, Health and Herbal Tea is all about talking about things around our You're Sweet Enough campaign. And, You're Sweet Enough, for those of you who may have forgotten or, wondering if we're out here still. So You're Sweet Enough, it is a health education campaign that we develop, and it's designed to inform and educate the public about the dangers of sugary drinks and consuming too many of those. And one of the things, we're kind of doing this as part of the education and awareness around non-communicable disease prevention and control. And we're doing this in partnership with the Ministry of Health, of course. They are our main partner. And so we've been doing quite a few activities. So since last year, I just want to kind of share with everybody some things. We ended the 2021 on a bit of a high. So, yeah. So we did have a You're Sweet Enough dance competition. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Some videos.
Yes. So we had really great participation from the schools, mostly primary schools. And we had a public vote. So we had submissions from the students, also from teachers submitting from the different schools. And I kind of want to take some time to announce and congratulate the winners. We delivered their prizes. And so for the You're Sweet Enough dance competition, this was in partnership with the Ministry of Education. You guys remember we had the health and wellness curriculum coordinator on here last year talking about health and wellness and how that's been integrated into the education curriculum. So we were happy to partner with the Ministry of Education to get the students involved in the messaging, and they did a little dance danced to the jingle, and we have winners. So want to congratulate first place. We had these are winners based on public vote. So whoever accumulated the most votes for their submission. So we had Miss Shavanique Morton from Tyrrell Williams. She won the first prize for getting the most votes. And the first prize was a laptop. Second, we had a pair of students, pair of girls, Lamaya Childs and Lavandre Hanley from Ivor Walters in Nevis. So big up the Nevis side. Congratulations to these two young ladies. They also won a laptop each. Third place, when it came to the individuals, we had Janae Christmas, and she's from Morris Hillier. So she won a tablet as for receiving, the third most votes. So those are individuals. So I want to congratulate those students and also the schools, because the teachers also played a part. The teachers also played a part in making sure that the students could make the submission. So, and then we also had prizes for the schools. So the schools that submitted and participated and got the most votes. So we had Sadler's Primary won 2 prizes. They won a projector and a tablet. So they came first and second in terms of schools with participation.
They came first and second.
Yes. So the category, I can't remember the category exactly, but I think it's the school that had the most submission. No, the school, because there were votes for the schools.
Right.
So Sadler's, they had multiple submissions from different classes. And so they did a video with the entire school, and then they did a video with the like grade 2. So grade 2 won second prize.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And in K-On! Primary, also the grade 6R students, they submitted a group submission. Also Sadler's Primary, they came fourth. They submitted a group submission from grade 6. And Dean Glassford came fifth. The grade 5 also submitted a group submission. So I want to congratulate all these schools, and the schools, they won things like projectors, the classes won tablets and water coolers as well. So, and then we also had J. Obadiah Williams, who had the most submissions. They also won a prize. So congratulations to the individuals and the schools. And big up to our sponsors for this. So we had Ross University, who came on board to sponsor all the prizes, as well as the Taiwan ICDF, Pure Water, and of course the Ministry of Health, is a major endorser as part of that. So that's one of the things. We ended on a high last year with that, with the dance competition. And this is just kind of to get the messaging out there. So, you know, if anybody knows these students, or, you know, you are alumni of these schools, big up yourself. And thank you all very much for participating. We couldn't do it without you. So that's one thing. So that was kind of one of the major activities we ended on last year. A major thing that we've been celebrating that I'm particularly excited about is, so major part of the campaign is we are advocating for policy development. I've come in and talked a little bit about the different policy initiatives that we've been recommending and considering for the government to implement. And so last year, actually, we heard the Minister of Health, Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet. She actually mentioned plans for NCD prevention and control.
Okay.
And it was mentioned explicitly that, you know, an SSB policy is intended to be implemented by the end of 2022.
Okay.
No. I have the clip here, so, you know, y'all can just hear it from me. I'm not fibbing, you know.
Hear it for yourself.
Hear it for yourself. And it's just, you know, what we're going to hear is, you know, the minister and the announcement in terms of plans for what they're doing around NCD prevention and control. And this was from the budget presentation that was hosted in December 2021.
Mr. Speaker, the ministry also endeavour to complete other initiatives by the end of 2022 to mitigate against NCDs. These include the reactivation of the NCD Commission, an entity that will provide oversight of the prevention and management of NCDs in the Federation, the implementation of the sugar-sweetened beverage policy, which have been reviewed by PAHO, and the implementation of a National Tobacco Control Act. Both of these initiatives are aimed at reducing consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages and decreasing the use of tobacco products in the Federation, as such products present a high predisposition to the onset of NCDs.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. So that was the announcement that we heard in the budget presentation that's the Minister of Health, and their plans and intentions to, you know, have these policies submitted to Cabinet for adoption. And this is all part of, you know, the NCD prevention and control planning, because we know NCDs are the major public health challenge in the Federation.
Indeed.
No, you know, the SSB policy that she mentioned, this is actually something that we've been, you know, kind of lobbying to have developed and implemented and adopted. And, you know, within this policy, it's a framework of interventions. And so it includes things like an SSB tax, which would be a consumer tax. It includes things like banning the sale and marketing of sugar-sweetened beverages in schools. And also it includes things like improving public water drinking infrastructure. And so we're really pushing or advocating, and, you know, we're trying to work with the Ministry of Health to see how, you know, at this point in 2022, how we can support the policy development process in terms of having that actually come to fruition by the end of 2022. We know, you know, government sometimes moves slowly, and so we're always here to support. And that's part of the work. That's kind of the focus that we're looking at right now. So
exciting.
Yeah. I mean, last year was all about, you know, getting the education out there, which is very important.
Right.
But, you know, not that because you're not seeing or hearing from us doesn't mean that the work isn't continuing.
Work is always being done.
Always. And so, you know, if people have any questions or comments or, you know, thoughts, always welcome to share and submit. Always happy to entertain those, but just kind of understand and recognize that this is something that we've been working on, and we'll see if we actually have it adopted by the end of the year, or if it's submitted to cabinet. That's yet to be seen, but the year is still young, so who knows? Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for sure. So I am just in terms of, I guess, upcoming activities for where we're at and what we're doing now. So, the campaign was actually intended to be, a year-long campaign. It was like about 8 months. And so we are at a point now where we're actually winding down in terms of campaign activities for the public. And so we are trying to measure impact, which is very important to any kind of programming. And so we have a survey that we've been trying to push and promote to get people to do. We did a survey at the start of the campaign to assess where everyone was at in terms of their understanding of NCDs, sugar-sweetened beverages, and their feelings around those things. And so now that since we've, done all these activities and been out in the media, been working with schools, trying to engage in different partnerships and have various activities for public education and information, we kind of want to know what the impact has been. Now, the uptake for people doing the survey has been extremely slow. And so I want to make a very, very special plea to the listening public for us to understand. I'm a researcher. Research is extremely important. Data collection is extremely important. That's how we're able to assess and determine how to improve or how to change things so that we can do better and be better. And I'm all about doing better and being better as a people and as an individual. And so we're really making a special plea to persons to please, just do the survey. It's easy online, easy questions, simple, and just, whatever is your first response is completely anonymous. This is just to help us measure the impact of the work that we've been doing, and for us to also get the data to understand kind of where people are at, what people might like, and how we can improve for the future. And, it informs our work for, evidence-based policy development. And so I did share the link. Did y'all find that? If y'all can drop that in your chat platforms.
Yeah, we'll drop it on the chat for those of you who are online.
Yes, that would be great. So, just hit the link. It'll take you straight to the survey. And it just gives you some explanation. But, easy, simple questions. I don't know if there are any questions from anybody, concerns. Happy to take those.
Well, not at this particular moment. But even just without some of the data and the responses, I believe there has been an impact, a positive one. We see even the participation among the kids, and I think that's something that's very important, seeing, targeting the young ones, right? Because sometimes the older ones are a little set in our ways, right?
That's true.
I'm building some of these positive habits and mindsets as it relates to how we eat, what we consume, what we put in the mouth. I think that goes a long way in really making long-term change. So I want to applaud you guys for the work you've been doing, especially on that front.
Sure, thank you. Appreciate that. And it's always nice to hear about, people, knowing, recognizing in small ways that the messaging has been felt, it has been received. Because, I can walk out and people be like, you're sweet enough. And I'm like, yes. I'm that person.
Oh, you're the sweet enough person?
So, it's encouraging to see, but, it's, beyond just kind of, the messaging, it's, hopefully people take it and, kind of like, think twice about whether, should I have this sugary drink for lunch? Maybe I'll skip that today. Right. Because that's ultimately what we want, because what we're actually trying to do is build a healthier federation. And, because right now we're not looking great. And, of course, there are multiple things that go into that, and, but small ways, small things. And I think,
at the end of the day, Aiseline, we really are going to have to take control of these things that hang on the sides of our bodies, our hands, and, what it is we take them and put in our mouths. Like, at the end of the day, we're going to have to start taking some real responsibility, even if the decisions, may be hard at times, for whatever reason. We're gonna have to start instituting some personal discipline as far as that is concerned. But having the information to help you make the right decision. I think that is very important.
Absolutely. And that's what we are here about. We're here to make sure that people have the information, and he's the kind of person, you know better, you do better. I would hope that we can all think about things in that way. And so that's the survey. Again, please, you know, we've been sharing it on social media, but if people can just click the link and complete the survey for us, that would be really, 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 really great. It's essential to our programming and our ability to, you know, secure funding for projects and programs like this. So just in terms of upcoming events, when people might want to know what we're doing. So we have planning, part of what we're doing, you know, again, in terms of awareness building, and we're also trying to do a little bit of capacity building around engagement, civil society engagement. And so we plan to host a webinar series, a 2-part webinar series, and it's focused on strengthening CSO, that civil society organization, advocacy for health policy development. And so that's an event that we are hosting in collaboration with the Global Health Advocacy Incubator. So that is an international granting agency. They're funded by Bloomberg. Okay. And so we are doing this, we're hosting this series, and it's free. Registration is free. It's open to any association, civil society organizations, you know, nonprofit NGOs, anybody who might want to benefit from information around how to strengthen advocacy and advocacy strategizing for policy development, particularly when it comes to health development. And so that is open. Registration is open. You can find information and links about that as well. Check us out on Facebook, on Instagram. We're very active on those platforms. We post very regularly, and also a website. You can find us at lakehealthandwellbeing.com. Find us on similarly on any of the social media platforms. We're also on Twitter. So we're in those spaces. And this webinar will feature work and presentations and workshopping from individuals from across the Caribbean in different organizations, sharing information, advice, and tips about things like digital media advocacy, how you can improve on those things, about, developing your own advocacy campaign, and, things like evaluation, how you can think about those things. So we have we think we have a great program and think something to offer, and just, good information for persons to have if they're interested. So if you or someone who's part of some kind of association or an organization, and you're looking for a little bit of development, professional development, or CSO development and capacity building, empowerment, whatever you'd like to call it, we're hosting this free online webinar for any and anyone who might be interested in strengthening their advocacy around health policy development. And those will be hosted February 25th and March 25th. So it is a 2-part series.
So one in February, one in March.
That's correct.
Okay, nice.
Yes. So those are some upcoming activities in terms of what we're doing behind the scenes. So we are focusing a little bit more on just kind of the policy development process in terms of trying to encourage and support consultations around the actual policy and get more evidence and research around the effectiveness of some of these policy recommendations that we have been talking about. So we're working behind the scenes to do these things. And also another event that we're actually planning is one for lawyers. This one would be specifically for lawyers, and it would be in collaboration with the University of the West Indies. They have a health policy and law department that focuses on how law and policy intersect to promote health and well-being. Okay. So that's something that we also can look out for. We don't have a date set for that, but that's an event that we will also be hosting in March as part of our capacity building. So we're reaching out to these spaces who are very integral in policy development processes.
Well, it seems like there's a lot going on with you guys. I'm sure that people are really looking forward to, to being a part of these especially the upcoming forums that you described. So I
hope so. And, thank you. I want to thank the public, especially just, for your support all these times. Thank you for always listening. Well, hopefully people are sitting and listening. I appreciate your engagement. There's been a little bit of engagement before, and so we appreciate that. And of course, we're always very open. We're open to partnership and support and volunteers, like health and well-being. So feel free to reach out to us. Again, find and follow us on social media if you haven't already. We are very active and we're very responsive. If you ever have a question, a comment, or a concern, feel free to drop us a direct message. And don't forget, you are sweet enough. Drink water, show your body some love, and tell your body you're sweet enough. So let's avoid the sugary drinks and have a happy and healthy 2022. Maybe that can be a 2022 challenge. How's your water intake, Azim?
It's actually been pretty good. I have a water here. I'm gonna drink it in a little bit, but I've been working on it.
That's good. That's all we can do. Listen, 1% is it might not sound like a lot, but 1% every day turns into a lot of percent.
Yes, indeed.
So that's all.
It tastes good. Just drink it. It tastes good.
And I mean, there are ways you can make it taste even better if you don't like it plain. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Azim, for always, allowing me to come and use your platform. It's much appreciated.
Thank you for coming and continuing to just share the word and letting us know that we're sweet enough.
Of course.
All right, guys, we're going to be right back with more Island Tea in just a few minutes. Stay locked. Stay tuned.
Okay, thank y'all.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say sign sugar, low and fat. But don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
Better service, better price, better value, better
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Wind Media SK. And it's still hump day.
Indeed it is. It is the middle of the week. We're almost to Friday. Halfway days, guys.
I like how
Whole strain.
I like how you feel the need to explain to them why you're saying hump day.
Yeah, because some people probably do not know what I mean.
No.
Whole strain. We're
Kinda.
almost there.
Kinda.
What do you mean, kinda?
They kinda know what hump they mean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But guys,
They might have a different definition.
yeah, you're hearing a voice over the airways right now, and that is our guest, Mr. Jabari Trotman. You may be familiar with his voice. Who knows? You may have heard him, and that's what we're going to be talking about a bit here in just a second. But Jabari, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Friend of the show, Jabari Trotman. I'd just like to say that.
Yeah. Oh,
You
my
missed
second
friend
time.
of the show. You probably hear him call everybody friend of the show and then he call yourself.
Not everybody.
No, not
Only the
everybody.
most esteemed guest. Yeah.
Oh.
So
no.
So
Jabari,
you're just taking the title for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Jabari
claiming
is
it.
definitely a friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Yeah. I like to be called that from the friend of the show.
As a matter of fact, we should just make that your official middle name. Jabari, friend of the show. Trotman.
I with it.
Yeah,
I with it.
I like it.
completely.
I like it as well. But friend of the show, why are you here?
So I'm here to talk about the Island Archives podcast and the Island Archive project. It's a project that we started this for Black History Month. So we started on the 31st of January. And the idea is that we wanted to tell our stories in the region in a way that is insightful, humorous, and short, that we could pack in a lot of information in there that's interesting, and also make people want to go and research more about particular Caribbean heroes and sheroes.
Spark the interest.
Right. So the idea started for a couple years ago from an initiative that we're doing on social media just to get some information out there on Caribbean figures. And it was initially a learning experience for myself, and I just wanted to extend that to other people. And then thanks to Pelican Media Group, we came up with the idea to put it out in all formats and make sure that everybody could have access to it.
All right, awesome. So I love the idea of really just sensitizing people to the fact that we have our own heroes in the region as well.
For sure.
Heroes.
And sheroes. A lot of times when we talk about especially black excellence and black struggle and those who would have helped to push the plight of black people forward and continue to help us rise. A lot of times the names that we call resonate from outside of the region, not realizing that we had our own struggles and our own people who do have done great things right here in the region.
And part of that is because of messaging,
Right.
and because of who's retelling the stories, right? So for this week on the Island Archives, we have 3 folks because we do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on 1FM, right? So after ILNT, 10 a.m. on Monday and Wednesdays, there's an episode, and then Friday, 1:30 after Voices, there's another. So for this week, we had Bertil Fox, who was born in St. Kitts and Nevis, was a bodybuilder,
Right.
prolific in the 70s and 80s, capturing a ton of titles. And then today we have Jamaica Kincaid from Antigua, essayist, novelist.
Yeah.
Friday we have V.S. Naipaul. But if you Google these names, if you Google Bertil Fox, excuse me, you see British bodybuilder.
Right, exactly.
If you Google Jamaican Kid, you see American novelist.
Right.
And if you Google V.S. Naipaul, I think you see British writer, even though they're from
That's
St. Kitts,
crazy.
Antigua, and Trinidad.
That's crazy, yo.
So
Erasure boy.
So if you Google it, you see what I'm talking about. But
Even
part of it
Jamaica
is,
Kincaid, like what?
yeah, for sure. It says American novelist on there in the little blurb. So it's important for us to retell our stories and to let people know about the origins of these folks, of these figures, and then highlight their accomplishments. So that's part of the reason why we're doing that, because the messaging has been off over time, and we wanted to take it back a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. We keep saying here how important it is for us to tell our own stories.
Yep, indeed.
And take control of that narrative. And it's not just because it's not just for information. Like, what are some of the things that you hope to come out of, sensitizing people to the realities of what has been done by people right here in the region?
Well, one of the major things is to give some inspiration, right? Because a lot of these folks have risen to worldwide prominence and definitely accomplished much in their respective fields. And it's more than just typical political activist type figures. It's in several different fields, whether it be sports, bodybuilding, or whether it be writing or
the arts in general. Yeah,
the arts in general. So it's from all major disciplines, and we try to highlight them in a different way across these disciplines to show everybody who's from the region that you can too accomplish stuff in your particular discipline, no matter where you come from. But you just have to have an idea of where you came from, meaning the historical relevance of things, to really push on in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that for me is why these types of initiatives are important. Right there, you said it so good. I keep saying that what we need to continue to see people from our region excel is examples of success.
Right.
Examples of success.
Right.
Because it makes your dreams seem more real.
Seem more
and
attainable.
tangible, right?
Yeah.
And the truth is that we don't, in a lot of these fields, we don't have to create them. They exist. We just don't really celebrate them or even know about them.
Right.
Right. So, what you're doing, I feel, is really important, man.
Very much so.
I love to see it. I love to see it.
And the education aspect of it, like I feel like these are things that we all should have in schools. These type of projects should be something that the education system here takes up and gives to the students, because the way it is packaged is something that they can easily digest. It's not the usual boring long lecture, that kids usually tune out. It's something short but fun and informative. So I think that these are the things that we need to help educate the kids that are growing up.
Right, and we reached out to the Ministry of Education. I had a conversation with the Chief Education Officer just on the weekend about the project and sending out information to the educational institutions in the Federation. So that's being done as well, because we want as much people to hear it as possible and to be informed and to potentially light that spark, because that's what it's all about. And I think to some extent, especially in the primary schools, they do a lot of education on regional, less or maybe local history, like they learn about the national heroes, etc., which is important. But I think it's sort of like one track. So it's always like politicians,
right? Yeah. A lot of it centers around the political arena.
Yeah, which is cool. But I think there needs to be a little bit more diversity than just dead politicians that were men.
Right, exactly. I mean, even that what you spoke about, that is the other thing that is telling. A lot of the times, it is like men. Yeah,
for sure. And then one of the things we try to do is to, again, embrace diversity, and try to have a woman every week on the project, because we noticed that it's more difficult to find information, frankly, to speak about, to do episodes about for women. Even one of the women that we are doing, I think is next week, is, huh?
No, I may reach there yet.
Next week? My bad.
No. Beto Douglas was right here from St. Kitts and Nevis, was a slave, from Wingfield Estate in Old Road, and because of some of the things that she went through trying to buy freedom for her sons, etc., it led to notoriety back in that time that led to a bit of change in the idea of the institution of slavery, meaning people being property. And she was already free, right? But she was trying to buy the
freedom of her sons.
Right, and then she was being blocked, basically. And they were doing a lot of crazy stuff, like trying to rent her out for exorbitant sums where nobody would hire her, so she wouldn't make any money. And then when she couldn't pay certain debts for rent, etc., they would lock her up and beat her. A lot of crazy stuff. But that led to her being popular in the British society, and then eventually the abolition of the slave trade came after. But that was a story I had never heard before. But we partnered also with Old Road Rum, right, who's one of the presenting sponsors. And when we had the initial meeting, Jack Widdowson, he introduced me to Beto Douglas, and then we took it and ran from there. But it's to that type of, I would say, sharing and information is where a little SPAC could be, formed, and then you could go on, kick on and find out more information, because a lot of people have never heard a lot of the names that are on the list that we put out, and a lot of them are like world famous Nobel laureates, and like I would say world champion boxers and all kind of stuff. So
you said boxers. Tell me Hunks is one of them.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but that's a preview. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
We did Livingstone Bramble for the first episode.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So, and they were ecstatic about it. Like, we even reached out to the family of Bramble. Spoke to his sister actually for a long time, and I think they sent it over to him. He was really, really proud, and his family was very happy with the effort. So, and hopefully we get to talk to him on a more formal basis or a longer basis in the future. But we continue to do that good work, man.
Yeah, and again, big up all your partners. You mentioned Allwood Rum. You also mentioned Pelican Media Group.
Right.
And of course, Win FM.
Yeah.
All these people who are helping to bring this to the people. And of course, you and all your efforts and the people on your team. Anybody else that we might be missing that we should mention?
I want to build my team, especially at Pelican Media Group. So Pelican Media Group, we have Pelican Podcast, which has different podcasts for folks interested in different things, right? So there's like Off the Bench Radio, which is me and Xavier Greer, where we talk sports and pop culture. But there's a lot of other cool stuff like Trending Searches, which is about technology topics. There's also On the Easel, where Liska Bass interviews artists in different areas and disciplines and talk about their journeys and different struggles and different things like that, interesting stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and we put out a lot of good content. And without the good folks at PMG, it wouldn't be possible. Like the Island Archives wouldn't be a thing. So big up to the team, especially.
For sure. Well, Jade, hopefully this is something that we see continue over time, and then we could really see you becoming one of the featured. I
think you're gonna reach there before me.
I don't. To be honest, you're the one guy.
We all could, right? That's the idea, right? Yeah, we all could.
And like you said,
seriously,
that is why this is important, right? Because it proves that it is doable.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I say when in 2008, I remember said prior to 2008, black mother tucking her child to bed at night, saying, you could be anything you want. Child goes,
you could literally be anything.
You could
literally.
Be anything.
People. It sounds like a cliche thing, like it's so nice, like on a sticker or a vision board or something, or like on a wall or something. You could literally be anything.
But the thing about it is, some of these things seem very, very out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, before 2008, a mother might have told their son that, and the son go, even President of the United States, and she goes, yes, son.
Yeah.
But that hit different after 2008.
After Obizi, right?
After Obama, it hit different.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's important to note. When you have these examples of success, it really helps to prove the attainability of your dream.
Right, and then a lot of it is common thread to the stories, where a lot of it was struggle early on. Bramble struggled early on, and then V.S. Naipaul, who's on Friday, he couldn't get a job, even though he ended up winning a Nobel Peace Prize in literature after on, but he couldn't get a job to do basic stuff, and he lacked confidence in himself as a writer. Like, he thought he couldn't write well, right? Which wasn't the case, but he just couldn't get the opportunity at the time. So, and there's, much stories out there, even like Atiba Harris, who's not on this season, but went through a lot of struggles early on. And exactly, right here from St. Kitts to Davis. So it's not where you start, it's where you're going.
And everybody journey different. You just gotta stay on your journey,
and
sure.
I really like that it's just not focused on giving people their flowers after they have passed.
Very important.
Yes, I feel like we need to start giving more people who have contributed to society in these ways their flowers while they could smell them.
Yeah, let's not wait till they're dead to say, you're doing a good job, or you did a good job, or you're important.
Let them know.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think it's important to, speak truth to power right now, like we're in today. So that's what we're doing.
And I hope that one of the things, and I could tell from because we listened to the one, when was it, after last Monday? And one of the things that I appreciate is the humanity aspect of the presentations. Like, recognizing, like you say, some of them had struggles.
Right.
Not just before success, but even after success.
And
Right.
during.
And recognizing that, hey, that doesn't make you like
Less of a person. Or
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a delicate balance, right? Because each episode is like 3 to 5 minutes,
Right.
and then we're talking about several decades in some instances of
Right.
overachievement, right? So to pack that into a small, bite-sized portion of this person's life that represents their message and tells you the so what is difficult, but
Yeah, the takeaways,
yeah, we try to do it in a way that is representative of their legacy and of, highlight their crowning achievements while telling you the so what, to give that little bit of inspiration to look on more and then say like, yo, I could be that person, or I could be the best version of me, possible better. So
yeah, sure.
And I think the way it's packaged is relevant to the time that we live in now.
for sure.
Because we see more and more people consuming content in shorter versions. They don't have time to sit down and listen to a 2-hour documentary
Right.
anymore. So packing everything into 5 minutes, even though it's very difficult, I'm sure, it works. It works.
So we did that with the times in mind, for sure. Because attention spans have shortened, over the years, and then we still try to pay homage to that West African culture, that griot culture, that storytelling culture, right? That is important in really preserving our cultural presence and identity and history, for sure. So, but it's 2022 at the same time, so we still on TikTok, we're still on Instagram, we're still on Facebook, we still have our own website, we're still on YouTube, etc., etc. And we still produce shorter content for these mediums because it's important that we really target who we're trying to involve here and keep the essence of the historical elements alive as well.
Yeah, I think you have to recognize you're competing for people's attention, right?
For sure.
And what the hope, and I'm sure the hope is, and you mentioned it earlier, is that this could then serve as a jump off for people going and just even seeking out and doing their own research, which in itself is an amazing activity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's, hey, I really didn't know about that. And you
For
go,
sure.
You go to Google, you go ask somebody.
All the information that we use is available online.
Yep.
Like literally, and that's one of the pillars, and we intentionally did that way to make a point. Like, yo, you could just type it in your phone, your iPad, your computer,
Right.
and find out a ton of information on some of these figures.
Yeah.
A lot of them got wiki pages. A lot of them have multiple different documentaries on them and different things like that.
So
So
jump off. It's such a perfect jump off for people to
Exactly.
explore.
Just
Continue to explore the culture and the history.
just a tinge, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I love it. So how long do you anticipate this first season to last?
So the first season is 15 episodes. Started on the 31st. I think it's going to end on the 4th of March. So the 31st of January, then back up, and then the 4th of March. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 5 weeks. And then second season is going to be later on this year. We're still discussing whether or not we're going to keep doing one every once in a while, like say once a month or so, up until the second season launches. So the PMG team is discussing that right now. But we have a lot of stuff in the tuck, a lot of stuff that's available. There's a ton of people we could cover. And as we continue to do this project, people say, hey, you should do this person.
You should do this person.
Yep.
Right.
You should do this person. You should do that person.
Lots of suggestions.
We love that.
Yeah,
we love the suggestion because a lot of the people, again, is that folks that I never heard of who did amazing things in their respective arenas, and you just have to hit Google and try to find out more information on them and, really just do a deep dive. Some of them, you get lost, trying to read about all the different stuff around Bethel Douglas, all the different stuff around Walter Radley or Maurice Bishop or Eugenia Childs, right? Sometimes you just get lost in all that stuff, but it's good, You do a deep dive and then you really reach to a point where like, all that happened in Grenada, all that happened in Dominica, all that happened in St. Kitts,
Right.
So, I mean, we're just a couple weeks past the anniversary of the Buckley's riot, right, which happened here, which we talk about, but a lot of people don't really understand the significance of what happened and why it was important. And I think part of that has to do with perhaps how we package the information. And like, for some reason, I feel like sometimes we fall short of the punchline, right? So like, why is this important? Like, try to give greater context. No, sometimes the audience is not so in tune with why certain things are important. Let me give you an example. So like Maurice Bishop was important because he revolutionized like workers' rights and like women's rights in the region, right? But somebody might not, depending on who you are, like if you're a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, first, second farm, you might not care or understand why that's important, right? To have like paid time off or sick leave or like maternity leave, right?
Yep.
Right.
So assume that it's been like this all the time.
No.
Yeah, right.
Actually, pretty recently it changed.
These are very important things, right?
Yeah,
for like prosperity and for like people to live productive lives.
But you're right. People don't even sit back and think, boy, how did we even get to the place where we have all these rights afforded to us?
People had to die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody had to suffer.
A lot of people had to die. That's the short
Just for
answer.
us to get simple things that you think would be.
That we take for granted, no?
Yeah, we do honestly take sick leave, being able to go home when you're sick, or not having to come to work and still get paid even though you're sick. Like people
Going to
don't
school for
understand, right? they really don't understand.
Bob Bratcher,
Going to school at all.
I mean, not having to leave school at the age of 9.
Yeah.
These are important, things that were able to afford us the ability to progress as a society, especially in the region.
Being able to own land when we're talking about
facts,
land ownership,
very important, very, very important. And the truth is that a lot of these things, well, not just like one individual. It was like a culmination of different historical pinpoints that happened that led to a greater sweeping change. Usually it would be in waves, right? So that's good stuff. But I think that it's important to highlight the why and the so what, so we could know what we're doing right now.
Man, I mean and
where we're going.
That is something that I think that you really do fall short on recognizing the significance of some of these things, and you may have identified really, because that's a question that I've been asking. Like, why is it that we seem to not have these activities somehow cemented as part of our just
legacy? Not
even just legacy, because it is part of our legacy, but just part of just the consciousness as Kittians, and even as just so Kittians are Caribbean people or even black people. Like it seems to escape our consciousness a lot of the things that would have happened in order to afford us the pleasures that we have now, right? We talk about you mentioned Grenada, right? We know that that's a huge part of
Tell me about it, man.
But even here, when we talk about the attempted coup here, like we don't like people. It's so outside of
a
our
lot of people
consciousness.
act like it didn't happen.
Yeah,
they do.
They do.
And a lot
of people act like it didn't happen at all.
And I always find
people
that
still
interesting because like I go to like Anguilla and like, that is such a big part of their consciousness, right? But here is like you tell people like there was an attempted coup, like what?
But I feel like it's because a lot of the time the information isn't shared in a way that people can get it. Like when we have the concept of school, we have some basic notions of things that we're going to learn. But these don't really they don't really fall under those umbrellas most of the times.
Right. I think sometimes there's a mismatch. So sometimes it's like the people who have the information might not have like the technical expertise or the wherewithal to be able to put it out there.
They might not even have the motivation. Sometimes they don't like the truth.
Right.
And we have to be honest about this. Right. Like a lot of times, people don't like the truth because, and for different reasons. Maybe it's hurtful. Maybe they didn't like. Maybe they didn't look good in the situation.
Yeah.
Right. So things kind of get minimized and pushed on the rug.
It takes a certain level of, I guess, consciousness, as you put greatly, to, I guess, intimate these details about historical events in a way that is not biased and try to present the facts and again potentially could be hurtful, but even a lot of good stories don't necessarily have like a great ending or have like a knight in shining armor at the end that save somebody or does something like that. Like even so Monday we did Bertil Fox, right? Who was accomplished in bodybuilding, did a lot of things on international stage, but in the end was convicted of double murder, and his story is one that we told because I would say that all good stories don't have a great ending, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
just-
notable.
It's just like
And I think sometimes we romanticize historical figures and politicians and like famous folk, right? And then it's like we try to push the good all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give a balance.
Just let history be fact based.
And that's
Yeah.
not how life is anyway. Like everything isn't going to end in a happy ending. So why
Right.
do we only want to tell those stories?
And those
Right.
stories are important because they serve as examples sometimes of not only what to do but also what to try and avoid.
What
Yeah.
do I say all the time?
A lot of
Learn
different
from
stuff.
other people's
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah, even Eugenia Childs, right? She was the first, I think, the first female lawyer in a country as well. But she was very controversial because, after the invasion of Grenada and all this stuff, she stood with Ronald Reagan at the White House and said, "Yeah, this is why we're doing it." And this,
Yeah.
so she was a controversial figure in history for a lot of different reasons. But she still did great things. Same thing with Fox. So it's the balance.
People aren't all one thing, right?
Nope.
People aren't all one thing. And I think we have to recognize that. We have to recognize that life is complicated. People are
For sure.
complicated. And one of the things that I keep trying to tell people, it is hard to be great and normal at the same time.
Impossible?
Yeah,
I would say impossible,
like
right?
people who are exceptional.
Yeah.
You can. It's difficult to expect them to then be normal in every aspect. You understand? So,
No.
Something got to be offered them.
Yes.
That's a perfect example.
On. You understand?
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it.
It's like Kobe Bryant, right? I know we're focusing on Caribbean history, but like Kobe Bryant was maniacal.
Yeah,
When his
they-
present, he used to wake up at 3, and if you found out that his teammates were waking up at 4, he'd try to wake up at 2 to get in 2
Right.
hours, so he doesn't go after a full workout before they get in the first workout.
Same
them kind of
thing
things.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So
he convinced himself of people not liking him in order to spur his game and things like that.
Yeah.
He'll create
He used to create his own narrative in his head
in
in
his
order
head.
to
to motivate him to do whatever. Yeah.
those are maniacal things, man. But
But they worked.
yeah,
But they worked.
to some extent.
And
Yeah,
but recognizing
to great
those,
extent.
but recognizing those traits, and I think it helps us. Like this is humanity. We learn from those before us to continue to get better, right?
Right.
So, but we only can learn if we know.
right.
And so that's important for the exercises like you're doing, sparking people to go and find out about these people, what they've done, to celebrate what they've done, and also learn how to move, and in some cases how not to move.
For sure.
Right. So I think
Learning what not to do sometimes is even more important.
I'm telling you.
They're having this stern example, like, we could do A, B, and C, and then we could achieve this. Like, learning what not to do is sometimes even more important. So I believe that fully.
Yeah, man, Jabari, man, I mean, congratulations on the podcast. And we're really looking forward to the rest of the series. And, of course, everything that you and your team at Pelican Media Group is doing. Any last words before we wrap up?
We are doing Jamaica Kincaid, which is our first lady on the series right after this episode of Island Tea. So I hope the people enjoy it. And if you want to find out more, we're on all major streaming platforms. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We have social media. And you can find us at www.islandarchive.com.
All right, man.
There you have it.
Sounds amazing, man. But thank you so much, friend of the show, for coming in and hanging out with us this morning, man.
Respect. Thanks for having me, man.
For sure.
Indeed.
But Jade, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to disembark.
Yes, we have some great things coming up next. As mentioned, Island Archive, stick around for that one. And then later, today is Wednesday, so we have Voices at 11. A great episode that will be, and some other good things happening all throughout the day. So stick and stay to Win Media SKN. But as I mentioned, we have to go home.
We got to leave.
We gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, we got things to do.
Yes.
Wishing you guys a productive day and a productive week. Hope everything that you have on your agenda you guys achieve. You were saying something, Jabari?
Nah.
Okay. But but guys, of course, as we always say, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Trust me, all you guys who log on Facebook, YouTube, call in on the phones, even though sometimes before they give us trouble, man.
We're working on that.
We appreciate you guys, taking the time out to just be here with us. Because really and truly, if we're doing here, if you're just here talking to yourself, it won't be jiggy.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't really make no sense.
No.
But so we appreciate you, and come on, remember, guys, remember,
Please.
spend more time living your content than posting it, nah, man. Hey, as a matter of fact, this month actually been a lot better, you know.
Yeah. We're going with it.
Yeah. Sorry, knock on wood. See wood,
Oh,
wood
God.
here. Yeah, not there. Yeah. But guys, continue to just be wise about what it is you're sharing, be wise about what you're doing, and take time to just like live in the moment and experience things. Everything ain't got to be captured for the next moment. Sometimes you just have to experience it.
Indeed. And what else?
But you can't be everybody cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.